Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryan. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Happy 2020. Happy New Year's to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to all the old subscribers, all the tribe. I'm happy, I'm rested, and I just wanted to come on really quick, nothing deep, nothing, nothing overstudied, but I just wanted to come on, first of all, and tell you guys thank you. I sent my gratitude out to everyone for the 2020 for being here, and I just wanted to say, as my mentor has already declared, I want to go back and declare on my channel as well that 2020 is a year of restoration. This is a year where we're going to discover our true, authentic self. A lot of you are coming out of these situations. You're still in the situation trying to discover what's going on. The pain has just started. The process of healing has maybe just begun. Some of you guys are on the tail end of the healing or coming out, being discarded. Each and every one of you are coming into 2020 at a different stage. I want you to know, don't ever despise small beginnings, because everybody who has been in a situation like that, some of you are having to rebuild. And I say rebuild because I want you to think like this. Anytime, if you guys like watching HGTV, I like watching when they restore old homes. Some people invest, and you can buy like old historic homes or old dilapidated homes that seem like they have no worth to them, and they really are prized. They really are a diamond in the rough. And sometimes you can buy them for very cheap, $5, $6, $7, $10, $20,000, and you go back and it costs a lot of money to restore these homes to its original state. Now, some people, there are two types of restoration. Some people go in to restore these homes to make them look like the original homes that they were built to be. You got these old plantation homes, you have these old shotgun homes, and you go back, and that's the southern homes, but they go back in. And first of all, it costs money to do restoration. There's time, there's money, there's a time, effort, money. You have to invest time, money, finances, to go in and restore these homes. First of all, you have to go in and you have to apply for licenses to go in to restore a home. Once you apply for the license, you have to get the plumbers, the electricians in. You have to go have these people go in and check the foundation of the home. Is the foundation of the home stable? If the foundation of the home is not stable, a lot of times they have to take it all apart to build it all back together again. Sometimes they can go in and they can rebuild that foundation. Then you have the electricians. Number one, you have to get the building inspectors to come in to make sure that now the home is up to code, or the building code is up to code for the year 2020. They have to go in, and a lot of times they may not have had electricity, or they did have electricity. A lot of electricity is now dangerous because building codes have changed over time. So they have to get an electrician to come in and rewire the entire home, which can cost thousands of dollars. Then you have plumbers to come in. They have to go back and redo the piping. They may have lead in the lead paint, but they have to get the lead piping out and go back and re-pipe all the homes, the plumbing system. So then you have the inspectors to come in and give the thumbs up. If it's not, they have to let you know, this is what you do. This is copper. This is go back in. Then you have people to come in and they may not have had heating at the time. The house may have been warmed by a fireplace, especially to go back and remodel and go back and redo the original fireplace and discover the original mantle that belonged to this home and this fireplace. Some of you get what I'm saying, but the original mantle that goes with the fireplace, or even go in to set up central heating, central air, that costs money to go in. Then they have to go in, they have to rebuild the structure of this home, the walls. They have to go back in and do the what is it called? The installation. Now, insulation. They have to go back in and redo the insulation. They have to go and do the roofs and the floors. Some people go in and they try to fix something and find that there's dry rot behind the wood, or behind the walls, or infestation of rats. So they go in and the floor. So there's a lot of things that when they go in to restore an old home or an original home, they find a lot of things that is not aesthetically or visible to the eye. A lot of things is underground work, or a lot of things is behind the closed door work, to go in and restore these homes. And a lot of they may rip up old carpets and find the original flooring, and they go back and refurnish these floors and make it beautiful. So by the time this house is remodeled, they not only have what may look like the original, but actually it becomes better than the original, stronger, firmer, worth more money. The sale prices went up. The value of the property has went up. Or there are other people that go in and take an old home and restore it to a modern day look. They go in and these homes become better than the original homes. They add more value. They add more property value. You know, there's more involved. There's more money that has been tacked onto these homes. You bought a home for $5,000-$10,000. Now you have a home that's probably worth $500,000-$600,000, depending on what kind of home was restored. And so I'm saying all this to say that when you go in and have to go and do a restoration on you, the original you may not ever be exactly the same, but when you invest, which takes time, sometimes it takes money, it takes a lot of focus to go in and restore you to your original state. You may not ever be exactly the same way you were at one particular time because you have more knowledge, you have more stamina, you have more wisdom, you have more education, you have more experience, but you go in to restore and you become stronger, you become better than what you originally were before you met the narcissist. A lot of you are wondering, like, when does this pain end? It also depends on how long this house has been sitting and how bad that house has fallen apart. Now, I'm going to say this as well, to come in contact with your true authentic self, your true original self, your restored self. What does that look like? I was watching, they have the new show out now about podiatrists. There's two podiatrists. One is Dr. Ebony, one is Dr. Schaefer, but they had one show out if you go back and look at it. And I remember I was kind of falling asleep while I was watching it, but this lady had an infection on her foot, something happened on her foot, and she had surgery on the foot, and the sore never completely healed, the way it's supposed to have healed. And so what ended up happening was it began to fester. It began to have an infection in it. She was even told that there's a possibility that she may have to have her foot amputated. And so when the doctor went in and looked at it, she told her, an infection can kill you. An infection can get into your bloodstream and infect your entire body. Her gait has changed, her walk has changed, the pain in her foot, the smell of the infection, everything has been, affected, and I don't know whether she did proper care on that, but she wasn't going to get this foot checked. She wasn't investing in the healing of her foot. She should have had that foot checked a long time ago. She should have invested time, energy, and finances to go have this foot checked long before it became to that type of condition. And so when Dr. Ebony went in and did the surgery, she took a chunk because the foot was it was deformed. She couldn't fit in the shoe right. She couldn't walk right. She took out a chunk about this big from a foot. And I have a skinny foot. And so I looked down at my own foot. I was like, wow, she took out a chunk about this big from the bottom of this lady's foot and wrapped it up. But they took care of it. It was post-operative care. It was and making sure that the foot was not getting infected. There's no gangrene. And so you begin to see the healing. Now, the foot didn't look beautiful, but it was healing nicely. And you see this small wound about this big at the very end that was closing up very nicely, very clean. Now, true enough, she had to cut all the way almost to the muscles. But the foot was healing very nicely. It was a little dark, scar, but the foot, the muscles were not infected. She was able to walk again. She was relearning how to walk. She was able to put on her shoe. It wasn't painful. She actually said after the surgery, she said, in actuality, she said, I feel no pain, So a lot of you don't want to go through the process of recovery because you're not ready to deal with the secondary pain caused recovery. The secondary pain, some of you, decided I'm just going to stay because I'm much rather deal with this pain than to deal with the pain of recovery. Some of you don't have a way out yet. Some of you don't know where to go. Some of these narcissists have got you caught up to a point where you are totally financially and emotionally codependent on that narcissist. And so you don't see any other way out. Some of you have gotten so accustomed to that narcissist taking care of you that you can't imagine yourself getting a job and having to start all over from the bottom of the foundation. Starting with nothing, maybe starting with an apartment that has nothing in it, starting with a job, or even working in general because you haven't had a job in 20, 30, 40 years. So have to go back as an elder person, aged person, mature person, to go back to school to get a skill set, to get a college education. You can still do it. You still have breath in your body. You still have life. you can still go do it. There are agencies out there that can help you with your escape plan. Don't ever just jump up and leave without any type of, legal advice or any type of good legal counsel, because if you jump up and leave with those kids and you weren't assisted by, for example, a domestic violence advocate or agency to help you escape your abuse, that abuser can come back and say that you kidnapped the children, you abandoned the children, abandoned them, you stole the children, be a whole nother legal, a legal argument within the court systems. And so connect with these agencies, even call the 1-800 line. You go online and look for the 1-800 domestic violence hotline to tell them that you need to escape. You may have to restart all over again and go back and rebuild that foundation. But it takes time. It takes an investment. Sometimes it takes finances. If you don't have finances, they do have state assistance. They do have state insurance. Whatever you can do to get help to do your restoration this year. And this is just the beginning of the year. This is just the start of the videos for 2020. My first video in 2020 to let you know I'm rested. I got me some time off. My mind is back together because I was tired, y'all. I was tired, boss. And so I got me some rest. I'm ready. I'm geared up for our next process in 2020. So we can get these videos going. So we can get. And I talked to someone today, and I want to sit down and really think about getting some videos out to teenagers as well. Teenagers that have been discarded by their parents. By narcissistic parents, mother or father, and what they may be going through, and a video specifically for them to help them understand the process, to help them understand the mental health issues that parent may be facing, the manipulation that goes along, the pain that they're trying to inflict on your parent, but on top of that, they're inflicting on you, and you become the middle, that chess piece in the middle that is being injured all along. And it's never your fault. It's not your fault that they left. It's not your fault that they're not talking to you. And some of them have started families with other people. And now you're looking at these new families like, was I not enough? Did you not love me? Was I not a good kid? Why would you do me like that? Why would you leave and have a whole nother family and then throw it in my face it makes me feel bad, but I'm afraid to say something because I'm afraid you may punish me, or you may say something to make me feel bad. But teenagers, preteens, you have a voice as well. You have your own mind. You have your own thoughts. And, and it's hurting you. Some of you are even suicidal, and my thing to you guys is get some counseling. Get to a good domestic violence or trauma professional and get your kids in counseling. Let them talk to someone that knows how to talk to teenagers or kids at their level. Let them be able to express themselves. They may not be able to articulate themselves the way that we can, but, their symptoms, their behaviors, their suicidal attempts or cutting or injuring is a cry for help. Those are symptoms to a bigger problem, and I'm going to talk about regressive behaviors in the narcissist, regressive behaviors in children. And I'm going to do a video on that as well. And so I am so looking forward to what we have planned for 2020. We're going to get through 2020. We're going to find out who our authentic self is. Who he is, but we are going to discover our authentic self. You are more powerful than you think you are. The narcissist has tried to convince you that you are less than, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy, you have mental health issues, and in reality, they're tearing down something that is good, something that is powerful, and they know that you are powerful. You've escaped, they've discarded, and that's fine. Sometimes they have to discard you because you're too loyal. You are a loyalist, and you won't go unless you're discarded. But you have more power than you think you do. You are a power-packing individual, and you now have some knowledge. You just have to get through the pain. You just have to make up your mind. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to accept the fact that I am going to suffer emotionally for a little while until I can get on my feet. That's the power of restoration. 2020, the year of restoration. 2020, the year that we're going to discover our true, authentic self. And as my mentor says, we will build, we will finish, we will prosper because we are victorious. We have victory, and we're going to do this together in 2020. Thank you, Tribe, for being here. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys again. I want you guys to go and be great.